asked about players learning differently, assimilating the scouting report, game plan differently. In this environment, when you're swapping out opponents so quickly and don't have a lot of time to prepare, is there one type of learner or player that learns better, is better prepared for this?
Well, I think go back to the Bad Boy Mowers tournament. We had 4 scouts before they finally settled on who we played first. So I think our young guys got indoctrinated fast. I don't know. I mean, we still do. I mean, we'll walk through it. We'll play live through it. We'll watch film. We'll talk about it. We'll hand out a scouting report for them to read. Try to figure out whatever means are best for them.
We'll go to Justin Jackson.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, the situation this year with scheduling is very unique, very weird. So the game Wednesday with Robert Morris gets canceled late, and then I'm just kind of wondering, like, do you guys have like a list of teams, to sort of call in situations like this? Because I'm guessing maybe this won't be the first or last time something like this happens this year.
No, Justin, we're fortunate to have Josh, because Josh can get on the laptop and find teams that need games, teams that have just dropped out of the tournament for whatever reason or a game. And no, not me. I'm old school, man. I pick up the phone and call and say, hey, you want to play? Josh is way ahead of me.
Cody Nesper.
Hey, Coach. I was just wondering, when did you first know, or at least have a thought that it would be North Texas? And at this point, how much do you know about them?
Yes, it was yesterday. It was yesterday. Was it before or after practice, Josh? I can't remember. But it was sometime during practice. We found out that they. I mean, I think they actually said we'll be there tomorrow, which would have been today. But they couldn't, and they did. They checked the flights, and they couldn't get a flight that worked. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was, after you have so many people say, oh yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, let me talk to my athletic director, and then they don't call you back. If somebody says, hey, we're good to go, then, I think we have a tendency to stick with those people more than those people who, hey, let me check and I'll get back with you. Because I think yesterday, not to name names, but there were probably 3 or 4 people who said, yeah, I'll get right back with you. Let me go talk to my AD, and never did get back with us.
Mike Casaza.
Hey, Bob, how's it going?
Mike, I'm doing terrific.
Well, I'm going to hopefully not change that, but put you on the spot here if you don't mind.
Well, you usually do. I mean, it'd be a surprise if you didn't, wouldn't it?
Thank you. I'll add that to my resume. Football just canceled their Oklahoma game, shut down team activities. That's just kind of recent. But Mike Krzyzewski had some pointed comments about just the situation the sport is in and coaches are in right now. I don't know how to ask, but like, just does this feel right at the moment, or are you guys just kind of navigating as you go along and just doing the best you can with every day until someone tells you what to do and you figure out how to handle what the newest directive is?
Well, I don't think we shut down the country, Mike. I mean, my fear is not what you're trying to ask me. My fear is the alternative. The alternative is we close all the restaurants, we close all the bars, we close everything. They don't open back up. And then we got a whole bunch of downtowns that have absolutely nothing but vacant buildings. And it's happened before. I mean, we went through that with the Great Depression. I mean, we've got to keep America moving. You know, and I understand we have to do that safely. I'm not saying be reckless about it, but you know, I think you can overdo everything, you know, and I think sometimes this has been a little overdone. And you know, and it's when you talk about people shutting down and all the cases and all that, the majority of it is contact tracing.
Mhm.
You know, you have one guy who tests positive and he's on a bus with everybody else, and if he comes within 6 feet of anybody on that bus, then contact tracing says they've got to set. And it's like 14 days. They got to quarantine. So it's, you know, it sounds at times worse than what it is, I guess.
I guess my I understand what you're saying there, but I don't know, just feel confident that you can continue to, I don't want to say piece together a season, but it does kind of feel like piece together a season at this point, and then just continually dodge and evade and play games as you can.
When we shut down the university and we sent our guys home, it's the worst thing I ever could have done.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had more, that's when we had all the positives. And the time that they've been here and when they got back, obviously we tested them and made sure that everybody was good. But we ended virtually every workout with, this is up to you guys. You know, if you guys want to play, you can't put yourself in a bad spot. You know, you've got to be, you know, there's enough of you teammates, and I understand it's hard. You know, you can't really, your girlfriend goes home, you can't have her over to your place, you know, the day she gets back. You can't do that. That's that's a way that this could spread and really end it all for all of you. You know, so and they've been great. I mean, they've been fantastic actually. Of trying to do the right thing, trying to take care of themselves, you know, and I say that and I'll end up jinxing myself. But I mean, from basically the time that they got back. And you know, here's the thing, Mike. You know, people say, oh, well, you know, you ought to send them home. Okay, so we're going to send them home. Do you think they're not going to play somewhere? They're going to play. Whether they go to the YMCA, whether they go to a rec, whether they go play in a playground, you know, whether they go anywhere, their old high school, whatever, they're going to play. I would just as soon control who they're going to be around as not know. And so, you know, our guys being here and playing against each other, you know, was good. And it's worked out well for us.
All right, thanks.
Don Antonic.
Along those lines, you're going to have to be agile all year, right? This is something you're going to have to probably deal with until you get to the tournament.
Yeah, my days of being agile, I think have long since passed.
Strange times we're in.
Yeah, but not, you know, it's not so strange that I had to try to be agile and hurt myself. You know what I mean? Now, you know, I mean, there's no guarantees. I mean, you can do everything right and still still end up with COVID-19. I understand that, but I mean, our guys really have taken a lot of precautions, and they've given up a lot. I mean, they've given up a lot to try to, you know, make sure that we get through the year. And you know, my thing was always, you know, we can do the best we can possibly do, and hopefully that's enough. Or we can, you know, go run around and end up like we did a year ago, no conference tournament, no NCAA tournament. And you know, I think what happened out in South Dakota was good. You know, the bubble, I thought it was good. I thought it turned out well. turned out well, that, you know, we were able to have a tournament. We were able to have a championship game. Is it a sacrifice for them? Absolutely. I mean, absolutely it is. But I mean, it is what it is. And again, our guys have been great. I mean, I can't say enough about how much they want to play games, and they know they have to do the right thing to play games.
I was going to mention that because after we got done talking to you, whatever it was, Tuesday or whatever, talked to your guys, and they all were like, they're thankful to be playing right now. Particularly Deuce, who saw on the ticker that the Ohio State Michigan got canceled, and he couldn't watch the Ohio State Michigan football game on Saturday.
Yeah, well, he could, you know. I just think, John, that, you know, our guys deserve a lot of credit for getting this far. You know, now we got a long, long way to go.
Mm.
But if they continue on the path that they've been on, and, you know, I mean, hey, some guy can walk up and say hello and shake your hand, and the next thing you know, you test positive. But, you know, it's hard, man. It's hard. Somebody comes up and goes to put their arm around you, say, wait, whoa, don't do that, man. You know, that's tough. And now we're going to come up on Christmas break. What do? You know, do you tell them don't go home at Christmas? I don't think you can do that. You can't tell them go be around family and loved ones at Christmas. But, you know, you take it's a risk, you know, but it's the same thing. We got to do the best job we can possibly do at educating them, you know, so that they try to avoid everything that they can avoid, even though they go home. But we all know, I mean, we all know family members have had it. And it's, you know, the crazy thing, there's degrees of it as well. You know, some people have it, don't even know they have it, and other people end up in a hospital and fighting for their life. So it's a tough thing to figure out.
Skylar Callahan.
Hey, Bob, do you feel a little bit more confident going into this weekend playing 2 games in 3 days, considering you already got that kind of system under your belt playing out there in South Dakota?
Well, it wasn't ideal. I mean, obviously, we wanted to play Robert Morris on that day to give us a little bit more time to prepare. But, you know, obviously they couldn't make it work. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I watched North Texas last night, and actually I watched Richmond first, and then I watched North Texas, and, you know, then it's over, and I turn that off and turn on the TV, and I'm watching Pitt play. So I mean, we're playing a lot of basketball, guys. It's basketball still being played.
Justin Jackson.
Coach, I was going to ask you this the other day when we were Zooming and forgot. I'm just kind of curious on what your reaction might be in this COVID time and with Gonzaga. They, you know, the week before they played you guys, they had, you know, a player test positive, a staff member, I think, test positive. They come back to play you, you know, they play you guys, and then after playing you guys, they shut down team activities. You know, we're sitting here talking about health and COVID, and I'm just kind of wondering if you know, if there's any reaction there on your part.
Justin, we can only control what we can control. You know, I can talk to our guys about it. I can't go lecture anybody else about it. You know, everybody does, you know, what they think is right, and hopefully they're doing the right thing. And it sneaks up on you. I mean, I think that's the hard thing. I think it sneaks up on you. You could bump into somebody who has COVID-19 that don't know they have it. I mean, at virtually any time. When y'all are probably going to go shopping, buy your wife something really nice and expensive. So, I mean, you're taking a risk going in the store.
Keenan Cummings.
Of course, you take a risk if you don't buy them something nice and expensive as well. So
That's absolutely true.
Bob, I'm curious what you've seen out of this North Texas team, and you mentioned looking ahead. I was curious who has the scout for Richmond.
Ronnie has a scout for Richmond. Ronnie Everhart has a scout for Richmond, and Eric Martin has a scout for North Texas. They're athletic. North Texas is athletic. They're athletic. They run. They were Conference USA champions. They've won 20 games the last 3 years, 20 or more games the last 3 years. They've got it going, and Conference USA obviously is the league that Marshall's in. There's good teams in that league, and for them to win the league and really win it handily. I think they were 14-4. Is a pretty good feat. So it'll be good. We went into this, with the idea that we need to play those young guys and see what they got, and try to get some of the nerves out. I mean, look at Isaiah. I mean, Isaiah's playing on national TV against the #1 ranked team in the country for a freshman. I mean, that takes some nerve. We need to get these guys, and it's just it's hard whenever we still need to try to win, obviously.
Kevin Kinder.
Just playing with these quick turnarounds and these things, does that magnify the importance of better talent, of coaches that can adjust better on the fly, of teams that can, take and execute in-game coaching more? Do you see some differences there?
I think guys pretty much do what they do. I don't think there's I don't think anybody tries to come up with the greatest play the world's ever seen in 24 hours. There's a lot of things involved. People think, okay, you pass it to this guy and he scores, or you get him open, whatever. You got to get all those other guys out of the way. So it's more than the guy who passes the ball to the guy who makes the basket. It's the other guys getting their guys out of the way so the guy can do what it is that he does best. So, we're just going to go play. We tried to scout, like I said. We had 4 scouts. We started with Texas A&M and ended up with South Dakota State. And we started on in the middle of one bracket and ended up on the top of the other one. So it just shows that I think you gotta coach fundamentals, and it's so much easier to make adjustments when you understand the fundamentals of it.
Last question for Coach. We'll go to John.
Hey, just real quick, and maybe a question for Josh too, as you finish this, but are you surprised that these guys came open? And if you look at the 2 teams that you got replacements for, might be upgrades to be able to get these guys to pop open like this?
Not really. You know what, John? It's and this is kind of, I don't know if it's bad to say or whatever, but Josh and I talked about this yesterday. We had people say, "Oh yeah, hey, I'm interested, can't wait." Yeah, that'd be great for us. That'd be great for our team. What's the guarantee? You're going to help us with the transportation, whatever. Hey, okay, yeah, we kind of said that. Oh, well, let me go talk to my AD, or let me go talk to my head coach, or whatever. You never hear from them again. That's the part that bothers me. Or they say, we'll get back to you within an hour. They call you 3 days later. Well, what's been going on. They've been calling everybody else saying, hey, West Virginia said they would do this for us. What will you do? And so then all of a sudden you get caught in like a, I don't know, bidding war is not the right thing. That's not the right thing to say, but that's basically what it is. And Josh has been great. Hey, this is what we're doing. If you want to come and play, come and play. If you don't want to come and play, go somewhere else. If somebody else is, doing better for you, go do it. And then, but I think the thing that has separated him from everybody else who's trying to do that is his stick-to-itiveness. Is that a word, John? Stick-to-itiveness, yeah. So
Well, you've been, at least this demonstrates your aggressiveness to try to play a full 27 game schedule.
we owe it to the kids, John. I mean, in my mind, we owe it to the fans as well.
Mhm.
But we owe it to the kids for sure.
Coach, that's all the questions that I appreciate your time on short notice. Thank you.
Always a pleasure being with you, Miss.
Thank you.
Hey, Mess, since my line's open, I'll ask Josh, how many calls did you make before North Texas was the one that said yes?